Wasemao husema mchama ago hanyeli, kwani huenda akauia papo. Tupo hapa katika jumba hili la Nyayo House, jumba ambalo limekuwa na mambo mengi mihemko na vilevile sintofahamu kufuatia huduma za pasipoti ambazo Wakenya walipo ushuru wanafaa na kustahili kuzipata kwa wakati unaofaa. Je, ni yepi yaliyojiri? Waziri wa usalama wa ndani Profesa Kithure Kindiki siku ya jana alifika hapa kuhakikisha kwamba anatangamana na Wakenya na kusikia hisia na maoni yao kufuatia huduma hizi za pasipoti.
My coming here was to find out the experiences that the people of Kenya are going through, because they have been concerned for a while about the quality of the services that we are offering our people in this department. First and foremost, let me say that at the moment, as you can see, we still have a large number of the people of our country who are looking for passports for various reasons. Some for study, some for travel, others for work, others for medical purposes. Unfortunately, for a long time, more than 2 years now, we have not been able to match the production of passports with the demand. And when I took over office, I said part of my effort, together with the rest of my colleagues in this State Department, is to make sure that we triple the number of passport holders in Kenya, currently 3,500 to 10 million. By 2027. I am still committed that we will reach that target. However, when we went to review the system of production, we realized that as a country, for a long time, we have underinvested in this very critical service. And by underinvestment, I mean this is a service where Kenyans require for the various reasons I've said, but it's also a service for which they are charged a fee. And for me, therefore, it became clear that it's a very easy space to turn around, because if it is a service where Kenyans are paying a fee, all what we needed is to ensure that the department has the appropriation in aid, so that part of the money that is generated from the fees is retained by the department, so that the department can directly modernize the technology, the equipment, the facilities that they require to serve even more Kenyans. So it became clear to me that for us to make or to fulfill the pledge that we had made of tripling the number of Kenyans who hold Kenyan passports, it was important to engage the National Treasury for this State Department to have appropriations in aid in the Directorate of Passports, because through our Directorates of Immigration, which is the directorate that is responsible for the issuance of passports, we generate a revenue of nearly 20 billion shillings a year. Some of the equipment that has frustrated us from delivering the services that these Kenyans you see here are looking for are costing 100 million or less. One printer is in the region of 150 million, depending on the type of the printer. And so, if this department was allowed, as is allowed in law, that part of the revenue it generates, apart from going to the treasury, part of it is retained for purposes of creating an efficiency space and build the capacity of the department to even serve more people, that would have worked. So I'm glad to report that we have achieved that last month after many months of negotiations between us and the National Treasury. And right now, from this month, we have been able to get approximately 1.3 billion shillings approved as appropriations in aid for the Immigration Department. And that money is enough to buy all what we require to print enough passports, process them in good time, and even improve the physical infrastructure so that our people can be served in an orderly and hygienic environment. But that has just happened. I think even the S-checker is yet to be availed, but any time from now, the relevant S-checker will be availed to help us build that capacity. So that I wanted to build that case so that Kenyans can understand that we inherited a systemic problem, and we are not blaming any particular person. It's only that this department did not have appropriations in aid. So any officials who are serving this Directorate of Immigration could not do much. So I speak that because I know we have a new Director General. There is another Director General who served and his term expired sometimes 2 months ago. So we cannot lay blame on this department. The problem is that they didn't have appropriations in aid. We have resolved that problem. Number two, again, due to low investments of government over many years in this directorate, the equipment became dilapidated and worn out. And sometimes in March this year, our printer broke down. And it became a nightmare to either repair or even buy a new one. At some point, we repaired it around May, June. But then it broke again. It was repaired again. Right now it's working, and we also be able to repair another one, which was idle and broken down earlier. Right now, we have a modest capacity of printing our passports, but it's not enough. And because there has been a long backlog, and also considering more Kenyans are still applying, it has been very, very difficult to try and clear that backlog in the manner in which we had thought we could clear it. And so, by the time we started the current strength of production, we had over 100,000 applications pending, and more Kenyans were still applying. We have been able in the last 1 month or so to bring down that backlog, including the new applications, to last week 58,000 to today 44,000. And therefore, that has been possible because of the repairs that I've talked about of the equipment, although still we are way below our production capacity. What we intend to do is, as soon as the S-checker is available to the Immigration Department, we'll acquire as many printers as possible. We will improve on our physical facilities. We are going to make sure this place is efficient. We will surprise Kenyans with a very efficient passport processing and very efficient experience. So therefore, we stand at 44,000 tonight, and we are producing an average of 5,000 plus passports per day with 2 shifts, day and night. And that shows you, as much as we have had complaints about some of our staff, members and officers serving here, we still have hundreds of very patriotic and hardworking staff members. Some are working throughout the night. They are relieved by their colleagues during the day. We want even to improve and even increase other departments other than the production department to have more shifts, more night shifts, so that all the departments move in tandem. Of course, we have a national culture where everybody goes home in the evening and comes back in the morning. And because of that, even some of the departments, I am being informed, we had tried to have a night shift in the customer care department, in the biometrics department where we are, but there were no takers. So the only thing we can do at night is to print, because we don't require the applicants or our people to be there. So going forward, we will correct the mess, as I have said, through the appropriations in aid. I just want to plead with the people of Kenya to be patient a little while, because we will solve this problem. There are no two ways about it. So in the coming days, a few weeks, we'll be back to normal. We'll have finished the entire, I estimate in another 14 days, the entire backlog will be finished. And then now we start optimal production of passport by applicants as and when they arise. I also say that we have had also public complaints about a few officers who have been accused of soliciting for bribes. And I did say when I appeared in Parliament last week that that is gross misconduct. It is discretion, is the highest level of discretion on the privilege that we have been given as public officers to serve the people of Kenya. This country has 50 million people, and only about 1 million are in the public sector. So those of us in this public sector are privileged. Not every Kenyan has the privilege we have. So it's very wrong, it is illegal to ask for money to give a service to a Kenyan by way of a bribe. And therefore, I want to make it clear that the majority of our officers, security officers, immigration officers who are serving in this building are honest, hardworking, patriotic Kenyans. And in my experience when I was downstairs there, an old Kenyan, an older Kenyan, let me put it this way, Mzee, approached me and actually had very good things to say about how he was treated together with his wife and grandchild when they came here looking for service. And he even told me, this one treated me well. This other one treated me well. And he was very excited, and it was spontaneous, because that Mzee did not know the minister is coming here. So I know there are Kenyans working here, security officers, immigration officers who are doing a good job, and I really applaud them and ask them to continue patriotically serving their fellow citizens. But the truth is also, the public cannot be complaining in vain. There must be a few among us who are soiling our name. And that's why I said last week, and I want to repeat it now. We will clean up this place from corruption, cartels, and anyone who is asking for bribes from this space, whether it's a police officer, whether it's an immigration officer, whether it's a public official of whatever rank, even if they are ordinary citizens who have come to do brokerage for bribes here, we will arrest them and prosecute them, all of them. You have seen already we have started. We have already made some arrests. I want to make it clear, this space is not available for corruption. I also want to clarify to our people that the printing of passports is a security process, and therefore that process and the facility where that process is taking place is protected. And therefore, we do not expect people in this space who are not applicants or who are not coming for services related to passports. When I came, I started outside there. And I found a large crowd of people idling outside this building. And I started having a conversation with them. They could not give me a satisfactory reason why they are there. Some of them said, oh, I brought somebody and they are being assisted inside there. But what are you doing here? If you have brought your spouse or you have brought your child who is not underage, once they enter this space, please go downtown, look for a restaurant, wait for them there. You have their phone number. When they finish being served, you can now connect with your loved one and you go home or wherever you are going. You cannot come and idle outside our security facilities. Therefore, I have directed the security agencies to clean up crowds and people who are not doing anything from every side of this building. The front, the rear, the side, and the side. No person should be found around this facility if they are doing nothing. And because there is a public road on around 3 or 4 sides, almost all the sides of the building, if someone is traveling on that road by foot or as a motorist, they must move to where they are going. So nobody is allowed to hang around here. I saw some carrying some rucksack bags, others are just sidling there, and they cannot account for their time here, including our brothers and sisters who come to wait, the border riders who come to wait for customers there. That is not a designated area. So this place is not available for anybody who is not coming to seek the service in the manner in which this building provides the services. We know there are other visitors who go to other public offices here, but we will not allow, because this is the building that hosts the printing of passport, will not allow people to hang around this building. Number 2, the people who we are informed have been soliciting for bribes, claiming that they are taking that money to their contacts in this building. We are going to crack down on them. That crackdown is continuous, and expect more arrests, including possibly today. We could have some news. And that process is going to be continuous. It is going to be intelligence-led. It's going to be both overt and covert. By overt, I mean our security officers will not permit anybody to loiter around here if they are not coming here for services. But it's also covert, because it is possible for those brokers to migrate to nearby places and operate from there and still ply their trade. They tell someone, once you reach, you go this way, you see this person, and they think when they send SMS messages, we will not be able to know. We will know. And already we have flagged a number of people who have been terrorizing Kenyans here, asking for bribes. Some of them have been arrested, others will be arrested, and we'll arrest even members of staff who could be soiling the brand and the name of our staff who are working so hard here to deliver this service to the people of Kenya. Finally, we are auditing our systems on how we provide this service. It may be possible in the future that you don't really need to come here for everything that is associated with your application. As you are aware, the application process is online, it's digital, but we are also going to apply technology and other measures to ensure that we minimize crowds, because as I have said, this is a security facility, and therefore crowding is not a very good thing. We'll improve on that, and we are also reviewing our systems, including our systems of giving the service, our systems of production, and since the reforms are ongoing, I think I better leave it at that. Once more, by assuring the people of Kenya, we are committed, all of us, to make sure that we make our experience here bearable, and we respect the people of Kenya as the owners of this country. They must be treated well. Nobody should be served ahead of the other unless the emergency can be explained. If it's a medical case, if it's an education case that has a deadline, a work-related employment case that has a deadline, another applicant who doesn't have an emergency will understand why this person is being given a fast track. But 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 2,000 cannot be the basis of creating priority. It is illegal, it is criminal, And all the people who have been in this business for so many decades, they have operated from here. That has come to an end. It's not going to be possible again. They must look for something else to do, and even the alternative that they get must be a lawful alternative, not to go into another criminal thing. I wish you well, and I thank you for coming. But please, you don't have to. You know, this is my workstation. It's one of my workstations. If you hear I'm here, you don't have to come because, you know, it's just. And I vowed. I said I'll be reporting here almost every day. I'll be coming sometimes at night to see how the printing is ongoing. Some other times I come in the morning. Some other times I come on Sunday to see even what happens when it's weekend. But please, I thank you for coming. I wish you well. And once more, I apologize on behalf of government because of the delays that our people continue to experience. It's inadvertent. It cannot be blamed on staff. It cannot be blamed on any particular person. We are asking, and I ask on behalf of government, for a little more patience, and very soon, the Kenyan passport application experience is going to meet international standards.
Nikiripotia Mo Radio kutoka katika jumba hili la Nyayo House katikati mwa jiji kuu la Nairobi, jina langu ni Ronnie Reagan.
Mo Radio 88.2 FM. We are in charge.